Namaste. This is part 3, and we're going to talk about the two clairs that can be a little bit confusing sometimes. Now that we've talked about clairvoyancy and we've talked about clairaudiency, let's talk about claircognizance and clairsentience. So, claircognizance. This is very interesting, especially for someone who grew up really strengthening the left side of their brain because they're already overthinking things. And if your primary form of intuition is claircognizance on top of that, you really can doubt yourself. You really can wonder whether or not you even have any type of intuition at all. And if this is the case, then oftentimes people will just give up. They'll say, you know, for whatever reason, I just can't connect. I can't connect to my higher power. I can't get into a state of visualization. There's just no way. And so they just give up. And it's unfortunate because they just don't understand that they're claircognizant. What claircognizant means is it means clear understanding. And it means that rather than thinking with the head, you feel with the heart. It's a I know because I know, and I can't explain it. And again, the left side of the brain wants explanation. And so to be able to quiet that side of your brain and to tell it that it's okay, that can be very challenging sometimes, especially in our predominantly logical side of the mind and in the world. And so what we need to do is we need to have a better understanding of what claircognizance is. So I'll give you a couple examples. Have you ever had the phone ring, and before you picked up the phone, assuming you don't have caller ID, you just knew who it was on the other end of the line? And if so, you're claircognizant. Have you ever had the doorbell ring, and you knew who was on the other side of the door, yet you really didn't see the person yet? You just had this strong knowingness. That's claircognizance at work. And we all have all these different types of intuition. And see, our maker knows how we learn best. And so if in school, for example, we learn best visually, then most likely, it's not always the case, but most likely, intuitively, we're going to be stronger with clairvoyancy. And so in this case, claircognizance gets very confusing. It's for the people that absolutely, positively have to have answers with everything. And they're really their own worst enemy, as you can imagine, because their left brain is saying, I need proof. And their intuition is saying, I can't give you proof. You just need to know, and you need to trust that you know because you know. And so it's very important that these people move out of their head and follow their heart. And just know with absolute certainty that it's their intuition at work. For moms out there, it's maternal instinct. It's I just know that my kid's in danger, or I just know that my child's going to be all right. It's just a knowing. It's just trusting that. And it's similar also to if you just have a whim or a hunch, or I just have this gut feeling. That's all claircognizance at work. And it's just a matter of learning to trust yourself and to practice a little bit with it. And once you get it, you're going to start to understand it. But you have to take the first step. The next basic clair is called clairsentient. And this is where I'm going to kind of end with the basics. There are other clairs. They're not as popular. An example would be some people learn by smell, other people learn by taste. Those aren't as popular, so I'm going to end on clairsentient today. And what that is it's the clear feeling. And how that's different from clear understanding is clairsentients really learn cognitively, tactily. It's very important for them to either have something to touch or feel outside of themselves. They're kinesthetic learners, or that energy is going to run through their body. Now, I had some clients, and they've taught me a lot, who were very clairsentient, and they felt color running through them, or they felt different patterns running through them, and they felt different sensations, and they actually had the hair on their arms raised, or they just knew because something was happening with their belly. It was regurgitating a certain way, or in my case, when I'm fully connected to my higher self, where I feel like I'm in a beautiful place. For those of you who have seen me on stage or have seen me work in person, you know that my eyelids start fluttering, and that's a form of clairsentience. So clairsentient is really for people who have this tactile feeling, colors, sensations, creativity. It's just this feeling of knowingness, and it also can be a gut feeling. It also can be a strong knowingness, but it's different in the fact that you literally will feel it either inside your body or outside of your body. It's going to be shades of cool, shades of warmth. Again, different vibrations and sensations. I've had some gentlemen who have come into my practice and they literally will have their hands just start vibrating with energy. It's going to be very different, but those are all forms of clairsentience. And what we're going to do in part 4 in just a bit is I'm going to talk to you about how you might have heard of kinesthetic learners using their body in terms of muscle testing and actually getting yes or no answers by muscle testing themselves. And some people do it with their fingers, and some people actually do it in different ways, which we'll get into in the next video segment. But we're going to talk about people who are clairsentients and how sometimes those methods don't always work.